Hello, my name is Mike Lanyard. I'm business librarian in the Business Learning Commons at Granger Hall. And this video is a short introduction to how to find industry information. An important element of any proposal for a new product or service is information on the industry where that product or service would be part of. Investors, interested parties are going to always ask the question is, well, what industry are you in, and what are the competitors, and what are the external forces? So all those things you need to know as you try to pitch your product or service. So hopefully we will showcase a industry resource that you can become conversant in the industry of which your product or service will reside. So this is the Business Library's website, library.wisc.edu, that we're seeing right here on your screen. If we scroll down to business databases and click on that, and the name of the resource we're going to be looking at is IbisWorld, so we'll click on the I, and there we have IbisWorld Industry Reports, which is our primary industry resource. So we click on that URL, and will take us right into IbisWorld. Please note, if you are coming from off campus, you will see an intervening screen that will request your net ID and password that you will need to put in before you get access to the screen that we're seeing now. But if you're on campus, you will get to see the screen right away. So here we have IbisWorld, and the important part is looking at the search box. So here you can search by industry, you can search by keyword, by company or product name, whatever you would like. So for the purpose of this demonstration video, we're going to look for the product waffles. Happy Foods' first note of success was in the product called Waffle Waffles, so that's what we're going to use as a search example. So let's just type in waffle. And the search produces, there's a business environment, the producer price index we're not particularly interested in. But then here's frozen food production in the U.S., and we want to look at the industry reports. So we click on that report, and we're put in the industry report. Now, to get a general idea of an industry, if we go up here and click on the upper left-hand side is about this industry, we'll get a general definition of the industry. So here it is, frozen packaged foods, and down here in the last two sentences, waffles and pancakes are mentioned. So here's a case where we know that frozen waffles are included in this report. So this industry report has many chapters, and if you look in the left-hand column below the about this industry, we see the industry at a glance. We can get their performance. Can look at their outlook, life cycle, products and markets, geographic breakdown, competitive forces, the companies that are in there, the external environment, financial benchmarks. All of these are really good information that you would need to become conversant in this industry. So this is one way to navigate this report. The other way to navigate this report is you can search within the report. So over in the right-hand column, there's a magnifying glass, and then you can search within this report. So in this case, we'll just type in waffles or waffle and see if we find anything other than what we saw in the description. And we'll wait for that to load. So the only mention is one result was in the definition that we saw when we were first introduced to this report. This is not unusual. Industry reports sometimes mention individual products, but sometimes they don't. So in this case, waffle is not mentioned at all in the report except in the description. To show a different thing, if we typed in pizza, which is also included in the definition, we'll find when it loads up 16 results. So the reality is that your individual product or service may or may not be mentioned in the industry report. In this case, we have 14 results where they mention pizza, and it'll take us to everyone. So this is two ways you can navigate within an industry report to find the specific information you're looking for. In the case of waffle, Happy Foods waffle product wasn't really frozen, even though it competes in the frozen waffle. Frozen waffles are a competitor to waffle. What waffle is something called a shelf-stable product or shelf-stable ingredients, which is kind of hard to search in IbisWorld. But it is a packaged food, just like frozen packaged foods are. So if we go back to the IbisWorld search box, and we'll type in here packaged foods. And we do get something called specialty food stores. We'll take a look at that particular industry. And again, we have about this industry here, which will give you a definition. Industry only retails packaged products not sold for immediate consumption, which is shelf stable. Again, we have all the chapters of the report that we saw in the frozen food industry report. We can also go over on the right hand side and click on the search within a report, and we'll type in waffle and see if it's mentioned there. And we see no mention of waffle in the specialty food stores in the U.S., even though it might be in that industry. So, not finding your individual product or service can be frustrating to students, but it's not that unusual. In a subsequent video that my colleague Peggy Smith will talk about, it will allow you to be very specific about the product you're looking for in looking at Simmons Catalyst. But at least here, this is an interesting case where we have a product whose main production of waffles are frozen, but they're not really a frozen waffle, even though they're competing in that area. So we are looking across two industries, the frozen food package industry as well as the specialty food stores in the U.S. So between these two industry reports, you can kind of get a feel for where waffle fits in this. I would also point out that if you need additional information, please feel free to contact myself or Peggy Smith, and we can really help you navigate either IbisWorld or Simmons Catalyst to try to find information on the product or service that you are looking at. And thank you very much. And again, this is Michael Enyart with the Business Learning Commons.